The Browns have officially requested permission to interview Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter for the head coaching position. That is now the 6th confirmed, at least interview request they have sent out. The Browns will interview Aiden Dirty and Dan Pitcher today. But Tyvis, real quick on Jesse Minter. Thoughts on him as the potential next head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
I know he's a hot name that everybody kind of circled as a guy that they would love to have. I mean, the defensive coordinator guy. Wasn't he with the Wolverines at a point?
He was. He was John Harbaugh's defensive coordinator. Went to L.A. with John Harbaugh.
I mean, he's been
Jim.
Yeah, he's been under Jim Harbaugh for a lot of years. So obviously, Jim Harbaugh, although I don't care for the guy, does a great job of going to new places, getting these guys on track, running a good organization. So if you got a guy like that, obviously you'll lose Jim Schwartz for sure if you get him, but. That's fine. I think Chargers defense is pretty decent. I mean, we'll see. Miles will be fine. As long as it's a 4-3, I think Miles will be fine in any situation like that. So, I mean, if they want to hire him, that's cool with me. I don't know how fans feel about having defensive-minded head coaches. I know everybody wants the high OC and all of those stuff.
Yeah.
There's some DCs doing their thing. Look, you got DeMeco Ryans doing his thing. Sean McDermott. Who else in the playoffs that I can think of off the top of my head?
I mean, Vrabel's a defensive.
Vrabel. So that's 3 right there.
I'm starting.
Todd Bowles is not in the playoffs.
I'm starting. I don't know why. Maybe this just happened over the last six hours.
You want OC?
Man, I'm starting to be like, look, man, if y'all gonna keep giving me these Minimowski defensive coordinators, man, like I need names. I need top names. The only D coordinators I'm looking at, Salas, Flores's, and Schwartzes. I don't want the dirties of the world.
Who might have a head coach.
I need top-notch dudes that I've seen before. Because what people gonna say, all right, well, you moved on from Stefanski. You did that to get the Bengals. Who's this guy's name?
Pitcher.
Pitcher.
Like a baseball pitcher.
Yeah, you gonna get him to do what?
You know how I feel about that.
Hey, G, real quick, just on Minter, because then we'll get to the whole Schwartz and other stuff. But do you like Minter as a candidate, or are you against a first-time head coach from the defensive side of the football?
Man, no, I don't. That's not the profile I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a first-time head coach, defensive coordinator. That's too far off the realm of what we need. They keep trying to tell me about this offense, but
he's fine. Fine.
Nobody is going to be blown away by that. Nobody's going to jump up and down for that. Like, nobody. I mean, Jason, what are your thoughts on, like...
He like him.
I don't think you can't worry about winning the press conference with the coach. You can't worry about that. You got to worry about winning games on the field. And when the Browns hired Stefanski, nobody else was interviewing him. Because I wrote after they hired him, well, we're supposed to expect the team that never gets the head coach right to get this one right when they're the only one who was interviewing them.
Then they got it right.
And they got it right. I mean, you say what you want, for a number of years they got it right. And so I don't think it's wise to just dismiss guys because they're not the big hot name, because I don't think they're getting the big hot name.
That's what I keep telling everybody.
We'll get to that, I promise.
I keep telling everybody that, Jason.
Do you know enough about him to have an opinion on
That
Jason?
means I'm dead inside.
Welcome to the club. Come on in. The water's warm.
See it, I'm dead inside.
Come on in.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, I mean, I am not, like, Jay put me on the spot right away and said, who's your pick? And I fell for the trap, and I ain't going to do that again. Because but here's the thing. There are so many more names who are going to come out from teams that are in the playoffs, like
the Rams.
There's just a lot more. There's a lot more names.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't get hung up on just because these early names that you're hearing.
I feel like
there's a long way to go.
I feel like these is preliminary names.
Let me ask you.
I'm not trying to like hate or act like I'm just being dismissive, but I feel like there is a list of people that is not available at the moment.
Correct.
That they will be interviewing.
Yes.
And these is just some, hey, let's do a little talk.
I hear that. Let me ask you this.
Yes. I'm scared right now.
No, because this is what I presented.
No beard Tyvis.
I presented.
No
this.
beard
That's
Tyvis.
what it is. You look different. I couldn't figure out what it was.
No beard Tyvis.
You shaved your beard.
Yeah.
I'm not very observant.
Anyways, I'm not even gonna go down
That
there.
him like that was your girlfriend.
I ain't
You
even
didn't
gonna go
notice
down.
that?
I ain't even gonna go down.
Sweetheart, you didn't notice?
I got a new haircut.
It's the fact.
You
It's
didn't
the
even
way he
notice.
reacted to it. But anyway,
No, you sat down. I'm like, you look different. That's what it is. Sorry. Continue. Your question is.
Jason, you should copy the look.
No, I
See
look.
if you can pull that off.
No, I can't. I look like a child. I look like I'm 12 without.
anyways,
facial hair.
you've been doing this for a long time.
Too long.
So,
Too long.
how many years does a head coach should get when you first hire?
I mean, it depends.
If it's the NBA, 6 months.
No, this is the NFL.
In the NFL,
How many years?
I mean, I think you should get at least 5 years. At least. And I know that's higher than the average, but
What's the average? What's the average?
like three,
three.
I think. Yeah.
It's 2.
All right.
I think, as me personally.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
So let's say, Jason, that we hire a coach.
Yeah.
Would you agree that next year is probably not going to be good for the Browns?
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but they're standing up there talking like they're playoff contenders. I'm like, are we watching the same games? Are we looking at the same roster?
So that hurts. That helps you. That helps your argument even more because now the expectation is going to be that they're supposed to be good, right?
Saying. That makes it even worse.
I mean,
that makes it even worse, Jason.
I wrote 2 columns this week. You can they won't run till next
like
week.
they a playoff team.
But I'm sitting there looking at it going, you know what? I don't, because we're going to get off on a tangent. But I don't understand how Jimmy can stand up there and say we should have won more than 5 games. We're going to deliver even more.
They should have.
With that roster?
They could have beat the Jets.
Okay, fine.
They could have beat the Jets or
Fine.
take the Packers
They
away.
had no business beating the Packers.
They should have
Okay.
beat
None.
They should have beat Minnesota.
They're
okay.
a pick 6 away from
They had no
Pittsburgh.
business
Herbig
beating
dropping a pick
Cincinnati
6
at the end
from
either.
losing to Pittsburgh. See? So this is where it all washes out.
can't.
You could give them 2 or 3 more wins, but they got 2 or 3
You
wins.
could
they probably
easily
shouldn't have.
take away
It
2 or
evens
3
out.
more. What are the games that they won handily? Miami? They won that handily. Was there any others?
Was Miami?
The Raiders game wasn't that close.
Raiders. Those
Raiders.
2.
Raiders
They
couldn't move
had
the
2
ball.
convincing wins where
Yeah.
they won the
Miami and the Raiders. That's it. Those are the only 2 games where you felt comfortable.
You just proved my point even more. So to us, the roster's terrible. And
Yes.
They should, even after this draft or whatever they do, it still probably won't move it significantly enough for them to be a playoff team. But the owner is expecting them to be a playoff team. So right now they're gonna have a bad season. So that's 1 year.
Can I read you something though?
That means
Keep talking. I'm gonna read
you better make sure you hit it the second year, because if not, they're gonna move on from it.
Absolutely.
So what's the point of taking a job?
That's a
There's
very good
32
question.
options,
That's a
and you
very
have
good
I'd
question.
rather stay where I'm at. I'd rather stay where I'm at. If I'm not going to get one of the other jobs, why would I go take a job that I'm setting up to fail the first year off
Because
the
you're
rip?
gonna get- because
So
you're
now
gonna
I only got 1 year to try to get it in. Like,
Because
no.
you're going to make $20 million at least.
Man,
So would you rather
20 million? I'll sign up for it
Would
today.
you rather stay on the practice squad or play for a team, make the 55-man roster or 53-man roster and never play?
Would I rather make the 53-man roster
good
and never
question,
play?
Yes.
Well, I ain't gonna play on the practice squad.
Okay, so which one would you rather have?
53-man roster. I'm getting paid.
All right. So if
Jason,
you,
after you read this, I got a question.
so if you a coach, you can stay as a coordinator, and you can get that minimoski.
No.
Or you could go wherever you're gonna go
That's
and
not
get
true.
that bag.
That's not true, because if I stay as a coordinator, every year there's going to be a round of.
Yeah, but look at
Job's
Bobby.
over.
But look at Bobby Slovic, the OC of the Texans, who got fired after last year.
Man,
Man,
He
they
was-
need to give my
he
boy
was the hot
Bobby.
coordinator
Give my boy
named-
Bobby another. Get him another job.
Tell that to
man.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, Jason, read your thing. I
Eric
got a question.
Bieniemy tried. He just didn't get the job. What you talking
So
about?
they offered him. He don't care. He gonna ask me no questions. Yeah, I'll take it. Give it to me. Go ahead.
And there are different. If you're Ben Johnson and you've got options, like he ain't taking this job. If you're a coordinator who's a little bit lower, like Stefanski was, where no one was looking at him,
Take it.
So take the job.
All right,
Get
so
fired
listen,
after 2 years.
I was talking to a coach on another team about the Browns job.
tampering.
People think I'm negative all the time, right? This is from an NFL coach in the NFL.
And he is on his phone, and it is written down. Let's go ahead.
The Browns will be good. It's closer than people think. They play in a weak division with some dominating elements available to them and a young nucleus. If the next guy can come in and establish a rise in the standard and accountability, the team can take a serious step. So there you have it.
Well, hold on. Well,
So he believes in the quarterback.
No, not at all. He didn't believe him at all, actually.
Well, looky here.
Well, ain't that
Jason Lloyd, where did you
that
recover that from?
Isn't that like
This week.
80% of the battle?
What?
The quarterback?
Yes, which is why I'm confused on their messaging. But I don't want to go off on a tangent right now because we're talking coach. But I'm highly confused on the messaging that they're
Well,
putting
Jason,
forth.
that leads